Instead of quitting my investment banking job at Goldman to do PE or VC like a lot of other people do, I've decided to do something entirely different. It's officially been a few months since I made that announcement and made the leap, so I thought we could do a little bit of an update while I get ready for Christmas Eve. If you're new here or unfamiliar with my career lore, I will give you the very quick spark notes. I grew up in Toronto, I went to Queens, and then right after college, I went into investment banking at Goldman in San Francisco. I grew up knowing that I always wanted to start a business, but like most people that go into banking, I very quickly got a job from a PE firm for right after banking. I explained more in depth in the first video I did, so if you haven't seen it, I feel like just go watch that because I really don't have time to re-explain the whole story. But I basically started working on a startup idea with my now co-founder during banking, got a call that my private equity job pretty much completely changed, so it became a very natural transition for me to not do that anymore and take the leap and bet on myself. Contract at GS ended in June, then I took July and a little bit of August off to move, sleep, just take a break. I would say I've been full-time on the startup and content since September. My co-founder has been since the end of October, so it's still pretty recent. I still feel like I've lived a million lives since the last video that I made, and I've learned so much about myself, so these are kind of like the main takeaways so far. First takeaway, or like realization, is that I am incredibly hard on myself, and you actually cannot afford to be that hard on yourself when you're a founder. What I mean by that is, like, throughout my life, I've always had these external validation things that even if I'm beating myself up, you can objectively be like, okay, I'm still doing a good job. Things like grades or like dance competition awards or your boss, things that still give you an indication of that you're doing a good job or you're on the right track. And those just don't exist when you're working for yourself. Like, it's just me and my co-founder, nobody to pat me on the back, nobody to tell me I'm doing a good job. So if I work myself into a place where I'm being so critical on myself, like, there's no getting out of it. And that's obviously not helpful. So I have very much had to work on that. I kind of knew this going into it, but my second takeaway is that structure for both work and your personal life is so important. I thought that I would feel a lot more free than I did in banking. And don't get me wrong, I definitely do in some ways, but even in banking, even though it was like the tiniest bit of free time, there were still free times where I would just shut off my laptop and not think about work. I also didn't care about banking the way that I care about my own businesses, obviously, but if I don't block out my week and build in time to do social things, it's very easy to just work all the way through and never truly turn your brain off, which is not good. I need to spray my face really quickly. My last major takeaway is that the grass is truly always greener, so you really cannot compare. Never thought I would say this, but there's definitely been times over the last couple months where I thought, like, what if I went to private equity? What if I stayed in finance? So easy to think about the pros and completely forget about the cons. Obviously, I knew that a startup was going to come with its own sets of pros and cons, but I genuinely never thought I would look back at banking and be like, damn, I miss it. I broke it all down. I really just miss the people, and I miss being young because I feel like I'm getting a little old, which is crazy. Like, I'm only 24, but I just feel like time is going by very quickly. Unrelated, but this is a really beautiful lip balm. It's the Glow Recipe Gloss Balm in the shade Watermelon Bingsu, if anyone's curious. But yeah, it's been a roller coaster of a ride. I know I've been a little bit quiet about what's going on, but we'll have lots of exciting updates in 2026. Obviously, don't want to overshare or jinx anything until we're ready to go, but I promise as soon as we are, you guys will be the first to know. So yeah, let me know what you want to see from me in 2026. I'm going to do some content planning. I figure you'll want to see more behind the scenes founder stuff, which definitely is coming, but beauty math, founder stuff, maybe some finance, let me know and I will incorporate. Bye.